Eldon, we got a great idea for an episode of CG Kids.
Look, sister, I'm the one that comes up with the brilliant ideas here, okay? Oh, look at that. Ah, there's the best part of the Chinese food, the fortune cookie. Maybe it will be, you will win a Gemini award this year, or maybe you will become rich, very, very rich. You will be rich because the fortune cookie says so.
Or maybe it will say, for good health, be nicer to the CG Kids hosts.
Now, why would it say something like that? Yeah, there. Now what does this say? Stop and smell the flowers. Stop and smell the flowers? That's not a fortune! Well, that's one of those nicey things. If that said stop and smell the flowers, or a donkey will eat your homework, now that would be a fortune.
It's still a good idea though, Eldon. Hey, you don't have any flowers though.
Well, I know what I can do. I can open the window. Okay, I'll just take care of that. Okie dokie. This window won't move.
You could go outside, you know.
Oh, yeah. I never thought of that. This is a lot of work for smelling flowers.
How are the flowers?
Flowers? What flowers? All I smelt was exhaust fumes. Oh, yuck, 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 yuck. Oh, I had no idea how bad the pollution in this city is getting. Yuck. Here I thought it was just really cloudy all the time.
It's a problem.
Yeah, a problem. It's a catastrophe.
That was our idea for an episode, Eldon. The environmental initiatives being used to combat the pollution problem.
Really? What a great idea. I'm glad I thought of that.
Today on CG Kids, we're going to take a look at how the environment is harnessed as a renewable resource to help reduce pollution.
First, we're going to Scarborough, Ontario, where a new project is underway to safely and naturally treat polluted stormwater runoff.
Then we're going to head underground to see how renewable energy from Lake Ontario is being used to cool down many of the skyscrapers in downtown Toronto.
And then we're going to learn about light pollution and visit Canada's very first dark sky reserve.
That's all today on CG Kids.
Geographic Kids.
We're standing on the Scarborough Bluffs, and down there is Lake Ontario.
The Bluffs is one of southern Ontario's more unusual natural features, stretching 14 kilometers long and looming 65 meters over Lake Ontario at its highest point.
It's also a window into the prehistoric past. 70,000 years ago, before the last ice age, what is now the Don River was once a mighty river, larger than the St. Lawrence today.
This huge river poured into a prehistoric lake called the Iroquois. It was a much larger version of Lake Ontario today, and these bluffs were a part of its extensive delta.
During the last ice age, glaciers over 2 kilometers thick deposited boulder clay here. And after the glaciers melted away 12,000 years ago, it stood like a mighty mesa with alternating layers of soft sand and rock-hard clay.
And voila! You've got the Scarborough Bluffs with all its resulting buttresses and pinnacles.
What a view!
Not hard to see why this area is so populated.
And with increased population levels comes increased pollution levels. We're here with Michael, who's overseeing the Dunkers Flow Balancing System project. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Edie. Hi, Sid.
So what is the Dunkers Flow Balancing System?
The Dunkers Flow Balancing System is a stormwater treatment technology invented by a Swedish inventor, and it uses an existing bay along the shoreline and to create a series of compartments within the lake then to store and treat stormwater runoff.
So why is it beneficial?
Well, stormwater runoff, if you think about rainfall falling on an open field, that rainwater would soak into the ground and replenish the groundwater supply below. In an urban setting, that rainwater, once it hits the ground, hits typically a hard surface like asphalt of driveways or roads, and enters our sewer system directly and flows directly to the lake untreated. So the Dunker's flow balancing system takes that stormwater and treats it before it's then released back into the lake clean.
So why is the stormwater harmful?
Well, as that stormwater flows across the urban landscape, it picks up pollutants, as fertilizers and pesticides that are applied on lawns and gardens, for example. Oil and grit and grease that are on the roads and on the driveways get washed off and enter directly into the sewer system and out to the lake.
Are there any other facilities like this in Canada?
No, it's the only one of its kind in Canada. Why don't you come down and I'll show you.
Great.
All right.
And here we are. Here are the 5 cells that are used to clean the stormwater before it's discharged to the lake.
Michael, how are the cells divided?
You'll see a series of pontoons. The pontoons float on the surface of the water, and suspended from the pontoons are a series of curtains, like shower curtains, just much thicker material. And there are openings in the curtains that separate one cell to the next.
So how does this cell system work?
Well, the stormwater flows into this first cell, and the pollution that's in the stormwater actually settles to the bottom of the cell. And the stormwater then flows from the first cell to the second cell through the opening in that plastic curtain, and then so on and so forth through another 3 cells until it makes its way to the 5th cell. All the way along, the stormwater is getting cleaner and cleaner. In the 5th cell, we have a wetland area. So the pollution that hasn't settled out in the first 4 cells is now soaked up by the aquatic plants that are in that wetland system, and then that clean stormwater then is released to Lake Ontario.
We're here with Elisa. She's a grade 8 student who's got some water samples to show us, one of which is pretty gross. What's up with that one?
Well, Edie, this is water from cell 1, which means it hasn't been treated yet, and it's fresh storm water, so it's pretty dirty. And over here we have water from cell 5, and it's pretty clean and nice and clear.
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely see the difference.
So what are the contaminants that you want to get out of the water before it hits the lake?
Well, it's pollutants such as fertilizers, pet waste, and oil that have been washed off when it rains.
So, Elisa, can I drink that water?
Not yet. This water in cell 5 is just ready to go into the lake.
The Dunkers facility not only treats stormwater, but has a dual role of being a wetland and a refuge for birds, turtles, and other wildlife.
Another stormwater technology that we're using are underground storage systems. They perform the same job as a Dunker's flow balancing system in that they intercept that stormwater before it's discharged to the lake, and they allow those pollutants to settle out. One such system is the Western Beaches Storage Tunnel. It's the largest of the systems that we've used in Toronto. It stores 85,000 cubic meters, or 85 million liters of stormwater.
Wow!
It's a huge facility.
For years, runoff from heavy rainstorms overflowed the city's combined wastewater and stormwater sewer system, sending untreated wastewater directly into Lake Ontario. After an extensive environmental assessment, the City of Toronto determined that a series of underground tunnels and storage facilities would most cost-effectively reduce this problem. The Western Beaches Storage Tunnel project consists of 85,000 cubic meters of storage capacity in 3 huge holding tanks in a nearly 4-kilometer-long tunnel. The tunnel prevents combined sewer overflows from going directly into the lake by intercepting them from the storm sewers and combined sewers. The tunnel's holding tanks use ultraviolet lights to kill bacteria in the water before releasing it slowly back into the lake.
That is pretty incredible. Michael, Elisa, thank you so much for giving us a tour of the facility.
You're quite
That was
welcome.
pretty awesome. Thank you.
CGK.
So we've learned how the Dunkers project is an innovative way to reduce pollution in Lake Ontario.
Next, we're going to take a look at how energy from Lake Ontario is being used to help reduce pollution in the air.
We're in Toronto, Ontario, the most populated city in Canada, to find out how many of these skyscrapers behind me are using renewable energy from Lake Ontario.
We are here with Dennis Fotinos. He is the CEO of N-Wave. How you doing, Dennis?
Good, Edie.
I have a question for you. What is deep lake water cooling?
It's a new cooling system that takes cold water from the lake to cool buildings instead of using fossil fuels.
Wow, and how does it work?
Well, 3 large pipes that have been put into the lake, 5 kilometers out into the middle of the water, bring cold water into the city's island filtration plant. From there, that water goes to the John Street pumping station, and then it goes to our heat exchangers where we take the coldness, use it to cool the buildings, and then send the water into the city's drinking water supply.
N-Wave draws 70,000 gallons per minute of cold Lake Ontario water through 3 5-kilometer-long high-density polyethylene pipes. Assembly of the pipes was completed in Belleville, Ontario, and then sections of the pipe were capped, filled with air, and towed by ferry along Lake Ontario to Toronto Island. In July and August of 2003, the pipes were placed in position and flooded with water to sink them to the bottom of the lake bed, where they were anchored 83 meters below the surface. The 5-kilometer-long system has a total of 897 fusion joints. These pipes carry a constant supply of cold 4 degrees Celsius water to the heat exchangers. N-Wave uses the coldness from the lake water and not the actual water to cool Toronto's downtown core. 20 million square feet of office space.
So which of these buildings use the deep water cooling system?
Well, so far we have 10 buildings using the cold water system that we've just developed. One of them is the Air Canada Centre, where the Toronto Maple Leafs play hockey and the Raptors play basketball. The Convention Centre behind us is another building. The Toronto Dominion Centre, the Black Tower is behind us, and 7 other buildings in downtown Toronto currently.
So how do you turn the coolness of the water into energy?
Well, I'll tell you what, instead of telling you, why don't I just take you and show you?
Great!
Okay?
The 3 water intake pipes, stacked on top of each other, would be as tall as 28 CN towers.
So, Edie and Sid, we're in the control room of the Energy Transfer Station. This is where I hand you off to our resident environment and science expert, Catherine.
Hey, Catherine.
Hey, why don't we start off with the pipe gallery?
Cool.
First, you have to put your hard hats on.
Alrighty then.
Let's go.
See you later, Dennis.
See you guys.
Bye.
Woo! That's freezing!
Well, that's because that's where it all begins. The John Street pumping station is right behind that wall, and it pumps water through those little pipes into this massive pipe. So after that, it goes into these littler pipes, and then to the heat exchangers.
Where are the heat exchangers?
They're actually upstairs, and I'm going to show you right now.
Cool.
So, remember the big pipe I showed you downstairs?
Yeah.
Well, water from that pipe comes through the silver pipe into the heat exchanger, which then it cools the water to a certain temperature and brings it out through the blue pipe to our customers.
Cool. What's heat exchange?
I'm going to explain to you how the heat exchange process works, and it's something you can try at home. You need a bowl of warm water and a frozen ice pack. If you put the ice pack in the bowl, over time the warm water will become cooler and the ice pack will eventually melt. That's how the heat exchange process works.
CGK.
This is the energy transfer station, but there's still one more step in the cooling process.
Off to the water cooling system.
So, Catherine, where are we right now?
We're underneath Simcoe Street in downtown Toronto at N-Wave's chilled water plant.
Cool.
So how does this final process work?
Well, the heat exchangers pump water through this white pipe, and this red pump here pumps it to our customers.
So tell me, what are some of the benefits of deep lake water cooling?
Well, it reduces a lot of pollution. Imagine the pollution of 8,000 cars. Well, that's the same amount of pollution that N-Wave gets rid of.
Wow.
That is so cool.
Catherine, thanks for showing us this facility. It's been great.
It's been awesome. You rock.
Deep water cooling reduces smog and greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide by 40,000 tons. That's the equivalent of removing 8,000 cars from the road. It's time for Triviography.
Today's question, what is a secular carbon dioxide trend?
Here's a hint. It's not a fashion statement.
It's a secular carbon dioxide trend. Do you know how much this shirt cost me? And it's not elementary, my dear Watson.
We definitely have a trend here. A secular carbon dioxide trend.
So what is a secular carbon dioxide trend?
We'll tell you later in the show.
Eldon, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm protecting myself from the smog.
You can't keep smog away like that. Do you even know what smog is?
Well, no, not really.
Smog is largely made up of ozone in the troposphere.
Ozone, eh? Like the ozone layer? Don't we like the ozone layer?
Yeah, the atmosphere is made up of 4 sections. Ozone occurs naturally in the section called the stratosphere. That's where it protects the planet from harmful UV rays with the ozone layer.
But when it appears in the troposphere, which is the level that humans breathe, it's very harmful, especially to people with asthma.
Ozone doesn't occur naturally in the troposphere. It's caused by the burning of fossil fuels.
Here's an easy way to find out how much ozone smog is in the air around you.
Ah, yes, an ozone detection helmet.
No, Eldon, not with an ozone detection helmet. With scientist Sid.
Scientist Sid here to show you how you can detect ozone smog in your neighborhood. Now, there are many household items that contain hydrocarbon, which produces ozone smog. There's spray cans, there's lighter fluid, there's septic tank cleaners, paint thinners, the list goes on. Here's an experiment which will show you how much ozone smog is in the air you breathe. Now, you need 3 sheets of paper, some petroleum jelly, and an assistant.
Do I need a radiation suit?
No, it's perfectly safe. Now, you take the petroleum jelly and you spread it evenly over 2 of the sheets of paper. Then you set them both side by side outdoors, on the porch or a windowsill, smeared side up. Make sure there's no rain or snow. That will contaminate the experiment. Bring in one of the sheets after 1 day. Let the other one stay outside for a week. Compare them both to the clean sheet that wasn't outside. And you'll see what you've been breathing in every single day.
Yuck.
A simple way to make ozone detection strips that doesn't require radiation suits.
Radiation suits.
You might wonder what we're doing at a conservation reserve when we're talking about pollution in urban areas.
But this is Torrance Barrens, Canada's first designated dark park, created to combat the growing problem of light pollution.
And if you want to know what light pollution is, you just have to look up into the sky and count how many stars you can see.
If you can see millions and millions, then you're one of the lucky few.
Because even in areas of Canada with smaller populations, it's hard to get a really good look at the night sky because of lights on the ground.
But here at Torrance Barrens, the lack of artificial light has been protected, so you can see the night sky perfectly. Light pollution is harmful to your health. Unnecessary night lighting wastes electricity that causes air pollution.
So why are we here during the day instead of the night when we can actually see the stars? Let's ask Jan, a wildlife biologist with the Ministry of Natural Resources. Hey, Jan.
Hey.
So why are we here during the day?
Well, we're here because Torrance Barrens is more noted, or was more originally noted, for its natural history before it was known as a dark sky reserve. You can see Torrance Barrens as rock barrens, and that means the soil here is very thin to non-existent, and there's all kinds of unique vegetation that occurs here as a result of that.
So Jan, what exactly is light pollution?
Light pollution is just inappropriate lighting that makes it difficult to view the night sky at nighttime. So that means light that's directed up towards the sky or excess lighting that prevents you from seeing the night sky the way you want to at nighttime.
And when was the Torrance Barrens declared a conservation reserve?
It was declared a conservation reserve in 1997.
And why is it ideal for a dark park reserve?
It's ideal because, as you can see, because it's a rock barrens, there's lots of open areas and rock, and people like to come here right to this site here. They can put the telescopes here, and obviously on the rock it's very stable, so the telescopes don't wiggle and they can view the night sky easily. And there's hardly any trees, so there's a clear view of the sky in all the different directions.
So Jan, why view the stars here instead of, say, your backyard?
Well, I think in most urban areas in your backyard there's lots of lighting, and it's very difficult to see the night sky. The urban lighting prevents you from doing that. But you come out here, we're a long ways from any urban area, and at nighttime it's very dark. You need a flashlight to get around or you would hurt yourself badly, and it's really easy to see all the constellations in the night sky.
Torrance Barrens houses nationally rare species like the five-lined skink, Ontario's only lizard, and the threatened Massasauga rattlesnake. It's time to answer today's triviography question.
Today's question is, what is a secular carbon dioxide trend?
It's the accelerating increase in global atmospheric carbon dioxide concentrations produced by combustion of fossil fuels, kilning of limestone, and mass deforestation.
In other words, one of the main causes of global climate change and pollution.
CG Kids is on the World Wide Web. Find out even more about all the incredible places that we visit on CG Kids. Just click on our website to find games, contests, and a lot more fun facts about our amazing country. Check it out!
Hey Eldon, what did you think of the episode? Isn't it cool that there are so many smart people working to decrease pollution?
Sure, yeah, but you know what? I really don't like this ozone detector strip thing, okay? It takes too long. I like the ozone detector helmet much better. It detects pollution instantly. Huh? I wonder who that is.
Special delivery for Alvin.
Oh, that's so nice. Oh, you two, you're so sweet. Oh.
We thought you'd like it.
You know, so you can stop and smell some flowers.
What was that?
Hey, my pollution detector's going off. It's coming off of these flowers. These flowers are pollution. You guys gave me pollution. You are fired. I cannot believe that. Oh, wait a minute. That sounds telling me it's detecting pollen, not pollution. Forget that whole fired thing. That was just a joke. It's funny.